Dear students, I welcome you to this new video lesson in the e-learning series for the subject of computer science class 11th. Students, in the previous video lessons we have discussed the data types in Python like strings and lists. In this video we will be discussing the next data type in Python, that is tuple. All the three, that means string, list and tuple, are sequence. So most of the things in these three are common and they have some differences also. So most of the things in tuples are similar to the lists that we have covered in the previous video lesson. So before starting this video lesson, you must go through the video lessons on strings and lists. So let's start this video lesson on tuples. So a tuple is a collection of Python objects separated by commas. You will find various similarities to lists in this video lesson. Okay, so a tuple is also a collection of Python objects separated by commas. Python tuples are immutable. That means we cannot change the elements of a tuple in place. If you try to change it, Python will create a fresh tuple when we make changes to an element of a tuple. A tuple is a collection which is ordered and unchangeable. A tuple is a standard data type of Python that can store a sequence of values belonging to any type. In Python, tuples are written with round brackets that we call parentheses. So you can easily identify the differences between the introduction of lists and tuple. Lists were mutable, tuples are immutable. Lists were written with square brackets, whereas tuples are written with round brackets or parentheses. Okay. Creation. The first one is empty tuple, where no member is there. We can use the statement t equal to empty parenthesis. Okay. Tuples with integer values can be there, tuples having character values can be there, tuples with string values is also possible, and tuples with mixed values is also possible. Okay, so tuples can have any data type as their element, separated by comma and enclosed inside parenthesis. Types of tuples. So first one is empty tuple with no element. So here also we will be using the constructor of tuple to create an empty list. This is Python prompt. T equal to, there can be any name, any valid name. T equal to tuple, empty brackets, it will create an empty tuple and the name will be given as t. Now the most important thing in tuple is this: how to create a single element tuple. Please note and view this very seriously, that if you want to create a single element tuple, you should write like this: t equal to, in brackets, round brackets, the value, and put a comma. Okay, or you can also write like this, 3 comma. Here putting comma after the element is compulsory, otherwise Python will treat it as an integer. This is the difference while creating a single element list and a single element tuple. If you want to create, please remember this point with respect to tuple. If you want to create a single element tuple, then you must put a comma after that element. Otherwise, Python will treat it as an integer. Then we can have long tuples, and similar to lists, we can have nested tuples. Tuple inside another tuple, or a tuple as a member of another tuple. Okay. Now, creating tuples from a sequence. You know sequences are string, list and tuple. So we can create a tuple from any sequence using the constructor tuple. T equal to tuple. This name can be anything, any valid name, and then you provide the sequence here. Okay. Suppose you type like this tuple hello, it will create a tuple HELLO. And if you provide a list WORTH to this constructor tuple, it will convert this list to tuple. The difference between list and tuple is of mutability. Next, we can enter the tuple elements directly with the help of this constructor tuple. But please note, here you have to give like this. 2, 3, 5, 6, 4 will give you 2, 3, 5, 6, 4. But if you enter like this 2, 3, 5, 6, 4, then those commas will also be treated as the element of tuple. So please be careful while using this type of input. And as you know, the use of eval function that we have discussed in the video discussing lists, you can use eval function to input a tuple. Using eval input enter tuple elements. But I think you know the point here. You have to write these brackets also. You have to provide these brackets also while giving these values. Okay, this is the point to be remembered while you are using eval function, that you must use brackets as input also. Okay, as here you are not using brackets as input, here you should use brackets. Then you can provide the values as you want. Now these commas will not be a part of the tuple. Okay, how to access tuple elements? Tuples are very much similar to lists except for the mutability part. Again, I am telling you that lists are mutable and tuples are immutable or non-mutable. In tuples, we have forward as well as backward indexing as in strings and lists. Forward indexing starts from 0 to length -1. Backward indexing starts from -1 to minus length. Tuples are stored in memory just like strings, except that because some of their objects are larger than others, they store a reference at each index instead of single characters as in strings. This thing I have made it clear in the previous video of list also, that you can have different types of objects in lists and tuples. So if the size of the element is large, then the Python stores that element somewhere else in the memory, and it puts the reference to that memory location in that particular memory location. Okay. If I is a valid index in a tuple, then the element present at the index I will be accessed using the name of the tuple and in square brackets the index. This thing is valid for all the three sequences string, list and tuple. That means sequence name and in square brackets only. Please note here the brackets will always be square while you are accessing a particular element. They will not change to any other type of brackets. Okay. So if you are accessing a particular element of a sequence, then you will name the sequence and followed by the index inside the square brackets only. If we pass a negative index, Python adds the length of the tuple to the index to get the actual forward index. Now similarities with lists. The length function, as that was in list, similarly here also. Indexing and slicing is also similar to lists. Okay, so if we have covered the chapter of lists with full efforts and you have got all the points in your mind, then this video related to tuple will be very easy for you. Okay. Membership operators are also similar. Concatenation operator, replication operator and traversing, all are similar, but the difference is of mutability only. Clear? Lists are mutable, tuples are immutable. Operations on tuple. Concatenation, tuple 1 plus tuple 2. Okay, both the operands must be of tuple type. Replication, tuple into some integer, it will replicate that tuple that number of times. Slicing of tuple, you will know it like in strings and lists. Comparison is also there like in lists, double equal to, less than, greater than, not equal to, all the things. Then the important point here is unpacking of tuple. a tuple can be unpacked into the number of variables. Suppose the list is having 5 elements, so you can unpack a tuple in 5 different variables. How you can do that? You can give the variable names a, b, c and so on, and equal to, after that equal to, you should write the tuple name. So what will happen? All the respective elements will be stored in different variables. Here the number of variables in the left hand side should be equal to the total number of elements in the tuple. So this is called unpacking of tuple. Okay, packing of tuple is other thing, and unpacking of tuple is like this. Okay, where you make all the elements separate from that tuple. Okay, here the number of elements, the number of variables in the left hand side should be equal to the length of the tuple. Deleting tuple with del statement. Individual element cannot be deleted due to, can you answer? Yes, you are correct. Immutability, because you cannot change anything in tuple. So how can you delete an element? Okay, you can directly delete the entire tuple using that del. So that will make that all the entire tuple erased from the memory. Then the functions related to tuple, all these are similar to the one in lists, but the functions that will change, that were changing the list, will not be allowed in tuple. The first function is length, which will give the total number of elements in a list. Max will give the maximum element in the tuple, but the element should be of similar data type. I know that you know. Min function, it will return the minimum element in a tuple, but the element should be of same type. Sum, it will give the sum of the tuple, it will return the sum of all the elements of the tuple. Index method, it will return the index of the first match of that item if it is available in the tuple, otherwise it will return an error. Okay, please note this thing. In index method, an error is returned if the value is not found. Then we have count method, tuple name dot count and the value you want to count. Okay, it returns the count of the value being passed. If the value is not present in the tuple, then it will return 0. Next we have sorted method. This method is used to sort the elements in a tuple, but it cannot be in place sort. So what is the catch here? It will return a sorted list of elements in ascending order. Please pay attention. This sorted function will return a list of elements that were there in the tuple in ascending order list. Okay, and if you want to sort in descending order, you will write sorted, and inside it you will pass the tuple, and after comma you will write reverse equal to true. It will sort that tuple in descending order and it will return a list of those sorted elements. I think it is clear to you. Very easy. The other functions that were there in list that were changing the actual values, like append, insert, okay, those will not be here in tuple. Now here is an exercise of your mind workout. How can we modify tuples? This is a question. Of course, we cannot do it directly. We have to do it indirectly. So what are the ways to do it? There are some ways. The first one is use tuple packing and unpacking method. How can you do it? First you pack a tuple, that means create a tuple. Then you unpack those elements in different variable names and then change that particular variable value and then again pack it. So using this indirect method, we can change a tuple. Okay. So first you create a tuple with some elements. If you are given a tuple, then unpack that tuple in individual variables, then change the variable you want, and then again pack those variables in a tuple. Or second method is using constructors of list and tuple. You have learnt about the constructors of list and tuple. So what you will do is, you will first create a list, okay, from that tuple. You have been given a tuple, you have to change it. What you will do is, you will convert that tuple into a list, okay, using the point we have discussed, lists from tuple, in the previous session. Please go see through it. Then that tuple has now become a list. You can change the values you want, and then again convert that list into tuple using the tuple constructor. Okay, so these are the two ways of modifying the tuples. Okay, so these are the indirect method. So with this we come to the end of this chapter, that is tuples in Python. We will not be discussing the practical problems in this tuples, because all the problems are similar to lists. Okay, the only changes from lists are the use of parenthesis in tuples and the immutability of tuples. So the programs in which you were changing the values inside a list will not be applicable in tuples, and the rest of the programs like maximum element in a list, minimum element in a list, count the number of occurrences, these type of programs will be similar to that we have discussed in the previous session of lists. Okay, the changes will be that you will input the elements using eval, and you will give the round bracket sign or the parenthesis sign while giving the values, and the processing will be same, but the only thing that you have to keep in mind that you cannot change the individual elements of a tuple. So the programs that were changing the elements in place will not be applicable in this tuple section. Okay, so please, before going through this tuple section, you have to be clear about the working of sequences. So go through the session on strings and lists, and then come to this, and this will be a piece of cake for you to understand the concept of tuple. Okay, so that's all for this video lesson, and we will be meeting in the next video lesson to discuss next data type, that is dictionary. Stay tuned.